Here's a question that I would put to you, Kari. If it had been the other way around, if Donald Trump had won that election, if he'd beaten Joe Biden, and these were Democrats, hundreds of thousands of Democrats storming the US Capitol to try and stop that election being ratified with zero actual evidence of any election being stolen. Zero evidence. Trump's produced no actual evidence which has been ratified by anybody that this election was stolen. If it had been Democrats doing this, I can absolutely bet my house that you would have come on this show and argued the complete opposite.
No, if the November 3rd election would have been rigged and stolen the way it was against the Democrats, I would be appalled as an American. This isn't about Democrat, Republican. It's about the way that election was run. And you're saying there's no evidence, Pierce, but there really is a mountain of evidence, and more of it's coming out. We're looking at what happened in Michigan as more information comes out about completely phony voter registration. We watched as they pulled ballots from underneath tables after they kicked the poll observers
Kari,
out and started
there are
counting
lots of
ballots.
These stories swirling around, but every single time it's gone before people whose job it is to say whether this has actually happened. There's no evidence. I keep saying this to Donald Trump. I don't know why he keeps flogging the dead horse of a stolen election.
I'll tell you
what he wants to be doing is trying to persuade people that he should be elected again. Give us something for the country to feel positive about.
And he is doing that. And he is doing that, but the evidence is coming out, and I know it's probably not being played in the UK, but it is coming out. Every day more and more evidence is coming out about how bad 2020 was. The polls are showing that the majority of Americans now believe that the 2020 election was wrought with fraud.
No, and they don't. The polls are changing.
Nonsense. People don't. That's true.
Oh, Kari, that's as we would say across the pond, that is an absolute whopper.
No, 81% of Republicans.
There are Republicans. You said Americans. You didn't say Republicans.
81% of Republicans, 60% of independents,
actually,
and 44%
the majority of Americans
of
in every poll, the majority of Americans in every poll I've seen do not believe that the election was stolen. You know why? Because it wasn't stolen.
I'm all of the insanity. There was one governor who stood out in the crowd. You know who I'm talking about. He's right up there right now, and his name is Governor Ron DeSantis. I don't know if he's looking down here, but he's up there in that room, and we appreciated him. All right, I'm going to tell you a little bit. I just got to spend time with him. Love the guy. Fantastic. He is gutsy. The guy has bigger... Okay. Wait, let me think about how I want to word this. My staff always says, whatever you do, do not say balls. So I'm not going to say it. That guy has a backbone made of steel. I'll tell you what he's got. I don't know if you heard of this, but he's got BDE. Anybody know what that means? Ask your kids about it later. I call it Big DeSantis energy. Right? He's got the same kind of BDE that President Trump has. And frankly, he has the same kind of BDE that we want all of our elected leaders to have. I can just see it right now. All the middle-aged ladies, such as myself, are on Google going, what does BDE mean? For the moms out there, I'm really sorry that I threw that out. So, you see, Governor DeSantis took that Trump strength and that Trump energy, and he brought it to his home state during COVID. And he showed America what it means to have a governor who is a fighter, who will defend our freedom and not sell us out. Thank you, Governor DeSantis, for that.
On TV.
Never as a journalist.
As a journalist, but
well,
look forward to it. I think we're going to have a great race.
It's going to be a knockdown drag-out. And unfortunately, our border's wide open. You and Kirsten have had a lot of time to do something about it. And even the Democrats are upset about it, Ruben.
I think there's a lot we can still do. We've been doing some good work. I think there's some common ground I could find on. Look, we need to figure out how to get people here legally, so don't go through the illegal manner.
We got plenty of people here.
Oh,
Problem is we have plenty of people here right now. We have millions of people here.
look, you want to go talk to your,
fentanyl,
some of the mayors?
fentanyl has killed more
100%.
young people.
And they come through our
And
ports
you've
of
had an
entries.
opportunity to vote. This is Ruben Gallego. He's
Hi,
had
how you doing?
our border is wide open. He's trying to run for Senate. Our border is wide open. Fentanyl is killing our young people.
And it goes through the ports of entries. 90%
No, it's coming all
ports of
over.
entries.
But that's not
And we should really
acceptable.
fund more border patrol.
Under
more customs border patrol.
President Trump, we had a secure border.
That's
And I'm
not the
telling you,
case. But I look
it
look
is.
forward to working together if we can, and obviously we'd have more conversations about this. And I think it's
Well,
great
we're
that we
going to have
actually
conversations.
I think it's
And
great that we could have a civil conversation too.
civil, absolutely. But you know what's not civil? People dying on the streets. And in your district, you have
Our state,
in your district,
our state,
no, it's your district.
our
You have
state.
the fastest growing homeless population in the country.
My
There are
district also
veterans.
has the fastest growing economy in the country, and this
You're
is our
so
state.
so
This
you're
is our problem.
so you're
together.
okay. No, I had a solution for our homeless population.
And I look forward to working.
I talked about that all the time at the campaign trail. I'm sorry you weren't with me.
watched you.
I'm sorry you weren't with me every step of the way. The people of Arizona understand me, and they know me, and they care about me, and I
They
care about them.
rejected you.
And I care about them. Getting them
gonna do
better,
that?
freeing the people who are held political prisoners. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I think you are still a little extreme. That's okay, though. It's good to
Okay.
see you again.
It's
We can
wonderful
keep
to see.
doing this.
That's right.
We
I'd
keep
love
doing
to.
This. We have some areas of agreement.
Love to.
We agree on the fentanyl thing.
And-
then you get into the other stuff.
Oh,
But the other stuff
sorry,
is what
I'm
you
not
have
ma-
to do. The other
I'm
stuff's what you
sorry
have to
I'm
do
not
to
making
win.
you happy.
The other stuff is what you, I don't know why
Listen.
you're touching me. The other stuff is what you have
I
to
know.
do to win, is the thing. That's
Sorry,
the thing.
I'm a mom.
You have to
I'm
do-
sorry, I'm a
that's
mom.
okay. I like to touch too, but
yeah.
you know, in an interview setting, it's a little uncomfortable.
I'm sorry that we don't agree on everything, but what I am not sorry about
Yeah,
is
okay,
that I
we
think
gotta
that
go.
I do believe that we can agree that we both love America.
We do. Well, I know that I love America. I do think that you were okay with Donald Trump trying to end the American experiment last time. So that makes me wonder how sincere your love is. But I
Okay.
do appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
Good. Thank you for your time.
As Joe Biden continues to put the needs of people who come here illegally ahead of American citizens. So Trump will put
What?
the American people first.
What if he's in prison? I mean, genuine question. He's facing 91 criminal charges. What if he's convicted of one or some of those charges and actually gets put into a prison cell? I mean, it could happen. Under the Constitution, he would still be able to run the country, but would that be a good thing?
We've seen the witch hunts. They've been going on since President Trump had the courage to step into the political arena. There's been one witch hunt after the next, and most of it fueled by the media, sadly. And even if he was sitting in Alcatraz, the people will vote for him because they know that he is going to put America first. And in the last 3 years under Joe Biden, we've watched as America has been put last. We've learned how he's taken payouts and bribes from some of our adversaries, and we are all suffering because of it. And we just want to get policies back that put our country first, strengthen our families, strengthen our border, and strengthen our security, and,
But Kari,
and give
here's
us
the
a
problem.
decent energy policy.
Here's the problem. I wrote a column yesterday in which I extolled the landslide victory. It was spectacular. It's an amazing comeback story unfurling with Donald Trump. But in the weeds of some of the data were some concerning numbers, like 30% of Republicans, when asked, said that they would not support him if he was convicted of a crime. That's a big number of Republicans. You've got to assume that percentage would go up with independents, who would be crucial to him potentially winning a general election. Are you not concerned about that? I mean, it may well be, as you say, all a liberal witch hunt, or it may not. But if he's actually convicted, it does seem like many Republicans would be deterred and may prefer to then pivot to another candidate.
Well, you're always going to have those Republicans who have Trump derangement syndrome. And I think they will eventually start to come around as we get closer to the election. I've looked at the polls, actually. I've been following them very closely. And President Trump is the only Republican who can win and can beat Biden or whomever they put forth as their candidate. The others can't win. And you've got to have the Trump supporters behind you to get a victory. And the Trump supporters dedication to President Trump, because they know that he's helped us. They know that he's put us first. His support is a mile deep. These other guys' support is about an inch deep, and it won't last.
Listen to this.
We haven't talked much about the international arena, but, you know, his bromance with Putin, and it was actually called that, I think, by the former Prime Minister of Australia, who said he saw Trump with Putin, and Trump was like, you know, just gaga over Putin, because Putin does what he would like to do: kill his opposition, imprison his opposition, drive, journalists and others into exile, rule without any check or balance. That's what Trump really wants.
Kari.
Oh, boy. Oh, that's really rich coming from a woman like Hillary Clinton, how many of her friends have just mysteriously died or committed suicide? I mean, honestly, and that's rich of her. What President Trump wants is to root out the corruption and deliver our government back to we the people. And she looks very nervous. She talked about her friend Mark Elias. Mark Elias has meddled in his cohorts have meddled in the elections. They continue to meddle in the elections in Arizona, the Soros attorneys. They know they can't win on their policies because their policies, the Democrat policies, are destructive, deadly, and frankly, in some ways, diabolical. And so they know they can't win on that, and they have to try every other measure to try to control the government. And it's almost comical that Hillary Clinton is talking about Trump wanting to kill his opponents. I just want to say, as I'm speaking about this topic, I want everyone out there to know that my brakes on my car have recently been checked and they work. I'm not suicidal. And Hillary, I don't mean any harm to you. Please don't send your henchmen out to me. We understand what you're about, and we know what President Trump wants to do, and that is make America great again.
Oh, boy. Kari.